Hi, it's Brett Elliott, medical herbalist, and today I'm here to talk to you about menopause and menopausal weight gain, and in particular estrogen dominance, which can happen before and also after menopause. So what is estrogen dominance? Well, it's very, very common these days and undiagnosed a lot of the time, but it is something that you can be tested for if you go to your doctor at the right time and get tested for it. But it's an estrogen level that is not cycling properly during the menstrual cycle, but also not dropping away like it should do after menopause. So it can create a lot of symptoms which can be quite uncomfortable, and a lot of you will be very familiar with these symptoms, as these days it's become almost the norm. It's almost accepted as being normal to have these symptoms. So a lot of the time we get problems with estrogen dominance during the menstrual cycle, which means the estrogen is not dropping away during ovulation like it should do. So normally the luteinizing hormone or the ovulation hormone peaks during day 14 of the menstrual cycle. But what happens with estrogen dominance is the estrogen should drop away and the luteinizing hormone should peak during that ovulation time. But the estrogen doesn't drop away like it should. So you get an overload of both hormones happening at the same time. So you get a lot of menstrual problems, endometriosis, even fibroids, heavy bleeding, painful periods, swelling of the breasts and all that sort of thing when estrogen is staying too high in the body. And those symptoms can also be prevalent during pre and post menopause, when again the estrogen is supposed to drop away, or the estrone, which is a type of estrogen, of the types of estrogen that is particularly prevalent after menopause with estrogen dominance. So what I'm going to try and do is keep this fairly simple if I can, and explain what goes on, but also give you some solutions so you can find a way out of that pattern. Okay, so what are some of the signs of estrogen dominance? Well, I think we've mentioned these already, some of these, but you might be quite familiar with the signs of menopause. So the night sweats, the mood swings, the painful swelling breasts and lumps in the breasts that can happen around that time. And obviously the irregularities around the menstrual cycle, pre-menopause, things like swelling, pain, discomfort, heavy bleeding, heavy periods, all of those things can be related to estrogen dominance. But a common pattern we see in women, particularly around the menopausal time and after menopause, is where the body starts to just put on weight around the middle. And you'll see this with a lot of women these days, and it's accepted again as almost being normal when it shouldn't be. In fact, the estrogens are over and above what they should be in the body, and so we get this kind of square shape happening and a whole lot of weight going on around the upper body, which is a definite sign of estrogen dominance. Okay, so there's a couple of main reasons why we can get estrogen dominance and why it's so common these days. And one of those things is what's called metabolic syndrome, which is where the whole body's metabolism is out of balance. And that's an accumulation of fats in the body, processed sugars, and the symptoms can be blood pressure, high blood sugar, cholesterol, and weight gain, particularly around the middle. And that's very common with the diet these days because of the high protein, high processed sugar, high processed food, high processed fats, and a lot of animal products that are in our diets. So when we've got metabolic syndrome, we put on weight, have high cholesterol and blood sugar and blood pressure and those things, and that pattern leads to an estrogen dysfunction, where the estrogens aren't able to be cycled and broken down by the liver and eliminated through the gut, because most of the estrogen should be eliminated from the body through the feces and through the bowels and also through the urine. But if the whole system is congested, as with metabolic syndrome, then the estrogen can't get out of the body properly. So it starts to build up in the system, in particular around the liver and in that fatty area in the liver. So a key thing to getting estrogen out of the body and estrogen excess out of the body is resolving metabolic syndrome and getting the body's weight back under control and metabolism under control. And the second thing, which is a major cause of estrogen dominance, is of course the estrogens that are in our society, in our processed foods, in our animal products. There's excessive amount of hormones present in these foods, particularly with milk and with dairy products, but also we are exposed to what's called xenoestrogens, which are estrogens that come from outside of ourselves, and also the packaging, plastics, smoke, exhaust fumes, and of course pharmaceutical drugs. So a major problem can be the contraceptive type drugs that are estrogen overriding, estrogen dominant drugs. That can cause a lot of problems for that whole cycle, that whole system. So avoiding those drugs, avoiding a lot of plastics in your food which contain xenoestrogens as well, and staying off animal products and going more vegetarian with the diet is going to be a key thing as well. So what's the solution and what can we do about it, and what are the simplest ways you can resolve this issue? Well, they have found in particular with Asian women, that they don't suffer with any of these problems in any degree similar to Western and European women do. And one of the main reasons for that is they have a lot more vegetables in their diet, but also a lot of soy products. And soy products are known to have what's called phytoestrogens, which can reduce the effect of estrogen in your body by getting in the way of your body's endogenous estrogens, but also the xenoestrogens, and blocking their activity. So these lower potency estrogens that come in soy foods can be very, very good for reducing estrogen, the effect of estrogen dominance in your body. But going on a plant-based diet is a key thing. So getting off all those animal foods that have the hormone content, getting onto a more plant-based diet is a key thing. And thirdly, detoxing and cleansing. So flushing the colon, the liver, that whole digestive system, which is where the estrogens should be getting eliminated from your body, is going to be crucial. So I highly recommend going on a cleanse, using a fruit and vegetable diet, so you get all those animal products out, and using herbs to flush the liver and the colon. And that's the program that we provide. You'll find it at the bottom of this page or link near this video, and have a look at that, because we've had huge success with women not just losing weight but getting the metabolism sorted, and also getting all those symptoms of those menopausal symptoms and those menstrual irregularity symptoms to decrease. So I hope that's been helpful, and have a look at the information. Click on the link next to this video and you'll find a lot of info and references to what I've just talked about. So talk to you soon. Thanks for watching.